Good morning and welcome to Kid News. I'm Tori. Today is Monday, April 3rd, 2023. And we begin with real hope for one of the oldest killer whales in captivity. Lolita is 57 years old and has spent more than 50 of those in a tank at the Seaquarium in Miami. Getting her freed and back to her home waters of the Pacific Northwest has been the focus of animal activists for decades. Helped by Indianapolis Colts owner Jim Irsay, a longtime Lolita advocate, there's now an agreement to place her in a natural sea pen in the Pacific, near to where her family still swims. The planning could take 18 months or more, but once moved, she'll have the opportunity to acoustically connect with her pod, which is a fancy way of saying she'll make sounds that could lead to a sweet reunion with her mom, who is believed to be around 100 and still alive. After being taught to fish for herself, handlers hope to let her out of the gate for a life back in the wild. Expect a high-flying, once-in-a-generation announcement today. NASA and the Canadian Space Agency will jointly reveal the names of the Artemis II crew that will orbit the moon and fly farther into space than any human ever has. The 10-day journey is tentatively slated for November 2024. It was another devastating weather weekend for much of the country. Dozens of tornadoes, some with winds of 165 miles an hour, ripped through towns from Arkansas to Illinois. The same system also brought a blizzard to the upper Midwest and high winds and power outages to Pennsylvania, New York, and New Jersey. Forecasters say severe storms are also possible tomorrow. According to those in the know, it's unheard of. Dozens of tech execs, including Elon Musk and Apple's Steve Wozniak, coming together to beg U.S. labs to slow the roll on artificial intelligence. The open letter asked those racing to develop digital minds to take a 6-month break to avoid what they call profound risks to society and humanity. The plea comes just weeks after the company, OpenAI, announced a new, more powerful version of the technology behind ChatGPT that could, according to CNN, draft lawsuits, write essays, and build a working website from a drawing. In the letter, the tech mogul said the companies are developing products that not even their creators can understand, predict, or reliably control. If the pause is rejected, the group is asking for the American government to step in. What's all the fuss about? Check out our new blog about the importance of not leaving all the thinking to robots. It's on our website in the extra credits section. The most exciting game in men's college basketball is now just hours away. Tonight at 9:20 p.m. Eastern, March Madness will officially come to an end when San Diego State faces off against UConn for the national championship. It'll be the Aztecs' first trip to the finals, while the Huskies have already won the title 4 times. For the women, the 2023 crown belongs to first-time champion LSU. The Tigers took down Iowa yesterday 102-85, despite the amazing tournament run of Hawkeye superstar Caitlin Clark. And a question: how big are your feet? Most kids are in the 5 to 10 range. Not Eric Kilburn Jr. of Michigan. He's a 14-year-old football player who needs a size 23, which is nearly impossible to find. Eric's mom put out an all-points bulletin. USA Today picked up the story, and the next thing you know, none other than NBA legend Shaquille O'Neal is ringing up Eric to tell him he and his size 22 feet can relate and help. I was flabbergasted, Eric said of the call. My soul left my body for a moment. I was so shocked. Shaq then had Reebok send Eric sneakers originally intended for the hoop superstar, while Under Armour and Puma work on custom kicks. Shaq also had some key advice. He told the teen he made $900 million by listening to his mom and dad. So, Eric says, he told me to listen to my parents. That's it for Kid News. Now, today's Kid News quiz. How many years has killer whale Lolita been in captivity? More than 50. Who won March Madness for the women? LSU. The men play tonight. Why do tech leaders want to slow development of artificial intelligence? They say even its creators can't control or predict its impact. What is the shoe size of 14-year-old Eric Kilburn Jr.? He's a size 23. In today's KidNuz Kicker, the future is super bright for 3 super smart high school seniors who took the top prizes at this year's Regeneron Science Talent Search, the oldest and most prestigious competition of its kind. Neil Mogul of Michigan won first place and $250,000 for creating a computer model that can rapidly and reliably predict the structure of RNA molecules. Second place went to Emily Ocasio of Fairfax, Virginia, for applying AI to journalism to look for bias. And third to Ellen Sue of San Diego for developing an algorithm to help diagnose a certain form of heart disease in kids. Our KidNuz audience is also chock full of super smart students, especially 12-year-old Neve Shaw of Houston, Texas, and Jacob Cohen of California, both of whom wrote in to properly school us on the Pythagorean theorem. Well done, Neve and Jacob, and the teachers teaching them. Speaking of which, it's time to say hello to our KidNuz classroom, starting with Mrs. Langen and her fabulous 5th graders at Woodrow Wilson in Caldwell, Idaho. Mrs. Harper and her Patriots at Wilcox County Elementary in Rochelle, Georgia. Ms. Kerr and her Ruby Cougars, who love learning about current events at Ruby Elementary in Placentia, California. Mrs. Vickery and her Panthers at Georgiana School in Georgiana, Alabama. And Mrs. Day and her Wildcats at West Vincent in Chesterfield, Pennsylvania. Thanks for listening. Please take a moment to rate and review us wherever you get your podcasts. And we'll see you back here for more KidNuz tomorrow morning.